Hello, welcome to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, and I will be guiding you on this journey today. This is the reading for if your favorite color is orange, or at least one of your favorite colors is orange. This has been so fun. It's been something that has just been like a birdie flying around my head for the last couple weeks, actually, and I finally took the time to go through my tarot decks to like separate them by color, which I don't know, maybe is like unnecessary, but that was actually kind of fun because a lot of decks I either just haven't used in a long time, or there's been some that I haven't even used at all, which is this this deck whose name the Citadel Oracle. So anyway, it's been really fun and creative also, which is highly associated with the color orange. And shouts out to my friend Melody, who still is obsessed with the color orange. And I mean, like, if you know Melody, you associate the color orange to her. And we met in high school. And for a long time, she was orange and I was yellow. I wore almost nothing but yellow. I had a yellow Mustang at some point. She drives a big orange Dodge Ram now. Like, I love it. And a lot of these like themes and words like associated with the color orange also describe her, which I also just love. But orange is associated to the sacral chakra, which is the chakra that deals with the self and creativity, pleasures, sexuality. The color orange for color, like in the realm of color psychology, is enthusiastic, adventurous, friendly, welcoming. Honestly, like all of a sudden, like vitamin C came into my mind, like, you know, like from literal oranges, like from citrus. And there was something, flames, like that was coming up for me because this is like the third or fourth time that I have started this video where we've gotten further than I did in the prior two. So that's a positive sign. But, I think, you know, what is interesting is, you know what, let me actually just make a note of it, and we're going to pull your cards out first before I say anything. Okay, so there's going to be 4 sections, and I have 2 tarot decks. So we're gonna pull a tarot card, and then we're gonna pull a clarifier for it. And same with the oracle. There's 2 oracle decks here. We're gonna pull an oracle and then a clarifier for it as well. So let's kind of start here with this. What is the current energy surrounding our orange baddies? Current energy. We have the 10 of Pentacles and we have the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting. And what is hidden, or like what is being avoided, suppressed? We will take this one, the Fool. And what is coming in, or like what's trying to shift, what's transforming. We have the 8 of Cups, and then what is the guidance or the advice, the outcome, what's next? The Empress. Beautiful. Okay, I'll move these cards around once we have everybody out. And Okay, let's clarify the 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles. We have the 2 of Cups in the reverse. We have the Star card. And the 8 of Cups. We have the Flower of Thunder. And for the Empress, the 3 of Thunder in the reverse. Okay, so that is the 3 of Swords. Oh. I'm like, what the hell is a flower? Flower of Thunder. Clearly this is one I have not used in a while. That's the Queen. Queen of Swords. Good to know. Let's get an oracle from the Citadel. The Captain taking command, teamwork. And from the Journey. Inner child. Okay, so let me just move shit around. Okay. I was sitting here for a couple minutes just staring at these cards, and the first thing I would also like to point out is how much orange actually did come through on a lot of these cards. I really just, it's giving me this feeling of, if you haven't been wearing a ton of orange, not that you have to, wear orange head to toe, but to maybe just, make it a point to incorporate some orange into your life. Almost to like draw energy from it. And it's also giving me this feeling too of like being supported. Or like that energy is available to you, like the themes that we were talking about, relating to orange. Enthusiasm, success, creativity, warmth. So I keep like staring at this Captain card because it looks like a face, like with a mustache. And at first it was giving me Justice vibes because of these 2 lanterns here. But then like the more that I stare at it and the more of a man it looks like, it's giving me father vibes. And then with inner child here, it's giving father wound. And I think that we were talking about Leo at the beginning of the reading. And Leo is associated with the sun. And again, like I can't even remember if I said it during this reading or the prior 3 that I tried to do. But the sun is associated with the father. So it's interesting. And what is also interesting is that we start with the 10 of Pentacles and the 5 of Pentacles, which is kind of like 2 different sides of like the spectrum, I guess. Like the 10 of Pentacles is about stability security, financial, physical, tangible, stability. Pentacles have to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it. It's our time and our energy. Where are we investing our time? How are we managing our energy? And like, where are we physically showing up in our lives as well? That could be work, that could be communities, it could be, for yourself, of course, too. It has to do with nurturing, care, anything that you can touch, anything that you place worth and value in. Your body, of course, too, your daily routines. And again, like going back to the 10 of Pentacles, it tends our completion. It's reaching a period or a point of success. There's generational wealth, it's legacy, it's having enough for yourself, but also those that maybe you are responsible for or community that you are involved in. And what I also was like finding interesting is I was like sitting here just looking at this card, as big ass eye in this shell. And then on the 5 of Pentacles here, there's these big windows. And these two people here, one person is on the floor, the other person is on crutches looking at these 5 pentacles on the wall. And it like feels like your idea or perception of lack or failure is under observation. And we have the 2 of Cups in the reverse here too. And then even going back to this father wound thing here, it's really giving me this sense of maybe even recognizing how unstable your upbringing was. Maybe that did have to do with your father figure or lack of father figure. Maybe it also even had to do with your mother's father wound, because generational trauma is the way that it is passed down is through behaviors and patterns. And it's like anytime you hear people say, well, this is how it was for me, so this is how it's going to be for you, like that's generational trauma. I didn't have better circumstances, I didn't have this or that, so either you shouldn't either, or stop complaining because you don't have it, like type of thing. Which can be very confusing for kids because they're like, huh? So if you were that kid, if you didn't have a masculine type of captain or stability, because when I was younger, even, of course, that's kind of like mostly what I can draw upon, but men were like still the captains of the ship, right? Like it's changing now because women are taking control. It almost really actually seems like that's what you're doing in your life, but it's like recognizing where the speed bumps or where the walls, the blocks have been for you. Because it's really like you are having to create your own framework for what it is to be a captain of your own life, of your own ship. If you have kids, if you want kids, if you're in a relationship or if you're looking for one, if it has to do with work and just, housing, food, transportation, like any of those practical, kind of 3D things here. And with the Two of Cups in the reverse, like, just maybe even recognizing how you've been handicapped, even in relationships, the people that you've chosen to be in relationship with, or even the people that you attract, because, we do that like without really knowing. But then through awareness and inner child healing, like you kind of start to figure out what those roots are, what is causing that, and what do you do about it, And it's interesting. So before I started this reading, this is like what I was going to say before. And since it's coming back up and I didn't completely forget about it, I'm going to mention it because I would have if it wasn't important. Both of these decks, when I was shuffling them just to wake everybody up and get everybody warmed and, whatever, both of these cards kicked out the Five of Cups. And I'm like, that's weird. Like, okay, do you not want to do the reading today? Like, I could choose a different color to get started. So I was just shuffling the cards. I wasn't even, like thinking of a question. I wasn't doing anything. And the first, I was shuffling the bigger deck first, which is the Infinite Door cards first. And that kicked out the Five of Cups. And then I was shuffling, because I can't think of the name of it either. Is it? Hopefully I could find the name of this other deck before. Okay, anyway, the other deck. That's terrible, but it kicked out the Five of Cups. So then I went back to the Infinite Door and I was like, okay, do you want to do this reading today? And it kicked out like the Four of Wands. And then I shuffled the other deck, and that is so terrible. I can't remember the name. And it kicked out the King of something. But I took it as a yes. And so I was like, okay. And then when it took me 3 times, like after the 3rd time, I was like, okay, I don't know. But I got this feeling that it was like I was trying to show up enthusiastic when I wasn't feeling enthusiastic. And I'm like, that's weird. And and then I start analyzing, like, is that me? Or is that the reading? Because usually, like, whenever I do start to do a reading, anything that happens before, during, I do associate to the reading. So you could be in a period where it's like, and especially too with orange, right? And I've used the word enthusiastic, motivated, right? Like excited, energetic, fiery even, which is interesting on this 8 of Cups that this person's head is flame, but which is orange and yellow, like I think I was saying. I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to assume that I did say that in this reading. But yeah, I wonder if it's almost too, and it's almost like trying to change your vibe by like changing your energy, or like, trying to focus on enthusiasm and positivity and, maybe even some creativity in the hopes that will shift things for you. And no doubt, that it will, but also what will shift things for you is allowing yourself to observe these things. especially this current energy, where was there a lack of support in your life? Like it is really okay to say the adults in my life failed me. I was not set up for success. I am, like handicapped going into adulthood or, starting a family or being in a relationship or whatever, right? Like it is really okay to say the adults in my life because they were dealing with their own shit, right? Like we all are dealing with our own shit. And no doubt they were doing the best that they could do, but that doesn't also discount the quote unquote failure to you. And allowing yourself to feel that, allowing yourself to express that, or even literally just accept it in your mind. It's not like you have to go around and just, tell people. It's not like, you have to tell them specifically that you failed me, and now, like I have to literally work from like ground zero to create any level of stability and security in my own life. And not only that, but like having to do it on my own or like without the help of partnership, or like, again, because of the upbringing, the things you experienced has an influence on the type of partners that you have chosen. Because it's like understanding that, accepting it, feeling it, being aware of it, that is what is going to help you figure out what to do and how to do it, and how you want to do it. You have no real framework, right? Like that's kind of how it's feeling over here. Or the framework that you do have, you're like, that's either not what I want, that's not what I envision. It's too rigid, or it's too open, or whatever the case is for you. But whatever it is, with the Five of Pentacles here, it's not giving you stability or a sense of security. So understanding that, and also even like understanding that it's not your fault. And that's not to, like not take accountability, or that's not to just blame everybody else around you. But it's also like, if you have been saying that like you're the problem, like you're the reason why something's not working out, you're the blah, 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 blah. Like, sure. I mean, we all are in control of our lives and all of the things, but where did that come from? And again, there's nothing in here at all that says that you are being the victim of anything. It's awareness. It's recognizing like the anchor that has been holding you down. See? And there is a grieving process in that. But it's also like you get to then, and this is the last point that I'll make on it because I almost kind of feel like I'm beating a dead horse here. Like, again, you get to decide then from that, what am I in control of now? What do I want to do? What do I want to build? What do I want to achieve? What do I, knowing that there is this anchor or this handicap, quote unquote. What is in your control? What do you want to be in control of? Literally, the captain, taking command, teamwork. Like, and we can see over here with the Star card and the Fool card, which is so hilarious to me because they're both cards of Aquarius, which is like the sister sign or like the opposite sign to Leo. So maybe you have Leo placements. I mean, Pluto is in Aquarius right now, and it will be for the next 20 years. So wherever Aquarius is in your chart, you can see that area of your life shift over the next, it's a process. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. Uranus, which is the modern rulership of, is it modern or is it traditional? Whatever. It's modern because the traditional is Saturn. So Uranus is moving from Taurus to Gemini this month. The Fool is ruled by Uranus. And the Star card here, like the Star is about trust, faith. I always see the Star card as being like the literal space between the 5D, God, heaven, praying, meditating. Whatever that is for you, kind of out there. And then the 3D where we are, because that's, we try to merge the two. And it, like for me, like the merging point is the star, and not to mention the sun is like the literal star that we orbit around too. It's hopes and wishes, your dreams. And the Fool card is taking a leap of faith, innocence, trusting the process again, because, it's trusting that the path will open for you as you walk it. Doors will open as you come upon them or as you need them, and they will. It also is giving me this feeling of like start where you are, like meet yourself where you are. It's like doing before you feel ready. Like the readiness will come as you move forward. And like it's like the readiness too is like, either waiting for clarity or just waiting for like certain things to like show up before we'll actually kind of, go for it and take that leap. And this is like literally the Fool card is like, no, you have to take the leap before you'll actually see it. And the Star card is like just keep your boat, like, in Moana. She keeps her boat facing Maui's hook in the sky, right? And she just has to keep like tweaking it to bring it back to following that. And look what happens to her. She gets exactly to where she needs to go. And all she needed to do was actually get on that boat and go. I am Moana. And also, let's not even talk about the live action, because why did they choose The Rock? I can't stand him anyway. I got the ick from him like a decade ago. Why did they put him in a muscle suit and put that wig on. Like, there's so many better actors that could have played Maui. I refuse to watch the live action. Anyway. And this over here, this is, like what's hidden, right? Or like what's being avoided, or, what's not being shown. And maybe you are just like really either gearing up or just really like trying to get clear on like, what is your manifestation? What is it that you want to create? What is it that you want to bring into like your life and all of those things? But, we can see on this Fool card, and I love this little Frenchie on here, which also even like, it doesn't feel like there is a concern. It feels like they even maybe pushed. Like the dog maybe even pushed this person. This also even feels like way more dramatic than like it needs to be on this card. I mean, they're like literally like a foot away from the edge of the cliff. They could recover if they wanted to. Like, they're not actually falling off of it yet. So anyway, like the leap, or even, like making decisions that are in alignment with your dreams. And it really is like a coming from a place of self-lack, like having a low self-worth. Again, even this, father wound here. It's like whatever it is that could possibly be going through your head, or whatever it is that is stopping you here. The energy is available to heal and move past what that is. I know, like when I started EMDR therapy last year, it was because like I literally felt like in my physical body that there was something, like my physical body would not move. But like my head was ready. My body couldn't, like it felt like that. And it was through like EMDR therapy, which highly, like recommend, that I discovered what that even was. Like, just I call them whole cruxes, like where our energy gets zapped throughout our lives. Because sometimes, like trauma or, experiences that are activating things that people say. It's like, sometimes it is just things that people say that stick with us. Sometimes there is an emotional activation in it, and that gets stuck in our bodies. And once you kind of like, what that is, then you can really like mother yourself through them. Mother your inner child, like reparenting your inner child. It's, noticing when your body is activated, when your mind is activated, and just like reminding yourself, I'm okay. I'm just treading in new, uncharted territory. I'm not in danger. We are literally fine, because our brains and our bodies don't know that, there's not somebody who is like trying to harm us. It just knows that we're anxious, or there's like an activation from whatever experience that we're in, and it just like will shut the whole shit down, because that's what our brains are designed to do, to keep us safe, to keep us alive. So once you know what those things are, you can catch yourself in them. And again, just, I'm okay. This is new territory for us, but this, it's what we want. We're safe. Which is, it kind of feels like what this is over here with the Eight of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Eight of Cups is this, when it first came out, I immediately got the feeling of saving yourself. In part because there's this hand here. This person is walking away from the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is making an emotional decision to move away from something that is no longer serving you, that's not making you feel fulfilled or purposeful, that's not making you feel good even. It's recognizing that there is nothing in these cups for you. I also love that the Eight of Cups is like under the Two of Cups over here as well. Because it's like, trying all these different cups and recognizing, again, that is just, there is something better for you. You want to experience something different. You want to experience fulfillment and purpose and what it feels like to have your cup be filled. Because not only are they walking away from these 8 cups, they're walking towards the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. Your desires being met. Feeling loved, feeling supported, having a container to hold you, type of thing. And with the Queen of Swords here, this is like very much your decision. It's focus to me. It's like keeping the eye on the prize, eye of the tiger. Look at like interesting. And this eagle on here, liberation, freedom, which is very Uranus as well. Those are like the themes of Uranus. So, we have the Empress out here, which is Taurus and Libra. Uranus is going to be moving out of Taurus and into Gemini. So wherever those two places are for you. And then Leo and Aquarius, which is kind of funny because that, like, Leo and Aquarius square Taurus and Scorpio. So it's kind of like there's some pressure that's going to be released coming up here. At least in that sense. So this is very like your decision to do. This is, mental clarity. Even like seeing the big picture, which, even getting clarity on what that is for you. And then over here, the Three of Swords and the Empress card. And the Three of Swords in the reverse, too. Healing. Her head is orange. Their head is orange. Down here, like they would be falling into orange on the Fool card. Mushrooms. This, like when it also first came out, it was feeling like connection and community even, and building what that looks like for you. The Empress is about expansion and creation. nurturing. It's a divine feminine, you know, so it's intuition, again, like mothering yourself, becoming a mother. The Three of Swords in the reverse would be healing. This is like, it has this feeling of like taking care of your own heart. Because it is one of those things of like you cannot pour from an empty cup. And it's also like one of those things of like making decisions from a place of hurt or from a place of generational trauma, which we all do. It's like impossible to do that until you have awareness around it, until you stop and say, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? How did I end up here? Like, for me, as just a quick example, I got married in 2016. I left that marriage 8 months later in 2017. And like my divorce was final the day after what would have been our 1-year anniversary. And by the time I left, like I didn't have anything unresolved with him. But my problem was, how the fuck did I end up there? How did I end up with a person who I would not only marry, because I shouldn't have even done that. There's so many I shouldn't have in there. Not only would I marry him, but I would leave after 8 months. Like, what am I doing? Right? Like, and that's what started my whole, I was already on my healing journey. And then got sidetracked with the relationship. But it's not even like, I think it was actually pretty perfect, because without that, I wouldn't have dove as deep as I did into my own inner child, my own self. I wouldn't have taken the control over, you know, like my own life and how I perceive it. I wouldn't have, you know, like felt empowered enough to make the decisions that I did and walk away from the things that I did. So, I mean, maybe there is a breakup here for you too. Maybe there needs to be. But like over here, this is like sustainability, taking care of yourself. Literally creating the life that you want, having the capacity, the ability, the empowerment, the everything in order to do that. And it's not necessarily that like the pain just goes away, or that your past goes away, or that you forget about it, or that it doesn't come up. It's just being able to manage that as well. Like I was saying over here somewhere about, you know, again, just being able to recognize when you are activated, or, you know, because it happens just like that. And then you can remind yourself that you are okay and what you are creating. And even like coming up with processes on how to like take care of yourself through those things, whether, you know, it's slowing down, whether it's, you know, baths, or, reaching out to community, or, you know, however, sleep, rest, however that looks for you, getting creative, going outside. Breath work, right? Whatever it is, you know, like for you. But it's not just going to like take the wind completely out of your sails anymore. It's just like a pause. It's just like a little slowdown. It's just a little, I'm getting a little too far away from, like my comfort zone. And would I have data and like would I have information on which is actually great because then it gives you the opportunity to make sure that you are still heading in the right direction, and if you need to make any tweaks or changes to anything, whatever that direction is for you, like, it's what you want. It's, making sure that that's what you're doing. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.